So the first one was Lorenzo Cassio, and he directed the Vatican Mosaic Studio for over 40 years. And he had 8 children, and every day every child had to make a small mosaic of the Virgin Mary since they were 8 years old, more or less, except on Sunday. Every day, just of course not to earn money or something like that, but just to transmit in them a strong ethic of work and a discipline, a rigor, and a passion for this art. And in effect, one of them, Fabrizio Cassio, he opened this studio after the Second World War, so we are in the 1945, and he invented a lot of important techniques about the restoration of Roman mosaic. That is why we are specialized more in that field, the of Roman mosaic. And when we speak about Roman mosaic, we speak of more than 2,000 years ago. And I want to show you some picture about restoration of Roman mosaic. So the first thing to do when we want to restore an ancient mosaic is to change the base of it, because of course time after time the ground has been raised up, so we have to make it flat again. So for example, we want to restore that area. And what we do? We cover the entire surface with a cloth. We put a cloth on the surface and we glue it, okay? Then we divide it into smaller parts, creating a sort of mat. Like this. We give number like a puzzle. And then with a hammer and a sword, here, we remove from the ground each singular part.
Oh, wow.
And we can start to restore it. But the very curious thing is that we are absolutely not allowed to add any new material. We have to conserve what we have. So they used to use very thick piece of marble, like that. And in that way we are able to divide it, to cut each pieces in different parts, so we are able to fill the principal holes, the principal space. And in that case we are working upside down, because the good part of the mosaic is here, the surface. Here is the back. Okay. So we work upside down. There are 2 methods of work, direct and indirect. And in that case it's indirect method. And then when we are satisfied, we will put on the original place. And with some water, we remove the cloth. And we clean the surface with a brush.
And that would be the front.
Exactly. So at the end, we will have a very flat base and a smooth surface, but sometimes you can feel different spaces, the different level, because we cut the pieces of marble. So it's very, also in the museum, in the next archaeological sites, if you notice that kind of different, does it mean that it was restored?
Okay.
And marble was the principal material. Marble, sometimes shells, black and white, natural stones. But sometimes we can also find very ancient piece of glass. This is 2,000 years old glass. And you can see it's like a mother of pearl shining on it, and only ancient glass has this quality, and it was used to decor windows or that are not anymore here, so we just find these little pieces of ancient glass.
Wow.
But glass will become the main material century later, during the Byzantine period. When mosaics were committed to the core churches at that time, so they needed something very strong, brilliant, powerful, so they focused more on the material, and they start to produce a lot of glass and gold, a lot of gold. And as you can see, the drone is very easy, very primitive, stylized, simple lines, just to help the work of the mosaicist. And the material, it's very brilliant, and that is why we start to produce a lot of gold, like that. It's very ancient gold, and it's of course it's not a whole piece of gold. It's a layer of glass, a 24-karat leaf of gold, and another layer of glass. And then they put some water and high temperature.
Oh, really?
And it's still here. So a lot of gold, and glass, of course, like, so that it's very vibrant, very natural, very pretty. Nowadays we don't have this kind of gold. And here in Rome we have the Vatican, isn't it? Have you already been to St. Peter? This morning?
Yeah.
Perfect. So maybe you remember the 10,000 square meters of mosaic.
Yes.
And it's an incredible story because we are in the 17th, and the studio of the Vatican decided to transform all the paintings and the fresco inside the church into mosaic.
Yeah.
Because the humidity has started to fade up all the colors of oil of the fresco. At the beginning there were fresco everywhere.
Yeah.
But then they noticed that with the humidity all the paintings were fade up. So they committed this huge work and they turned everything into mosaic to conserve for us, for the future, for the eternity, the masterpiece of the top Italian artists. We are after the Renaissance, so we are an explosion of very, very important artists. And this huge work lasted like 150 years, something very, very, very long. And so the studio of the Vatican was very happy to receive so much work to do. And to reproduce as faithful as possible all the colors of the fresco and the paintings, the factory of the Vatican started to produce their own colors in glass, like that one. This is an example, a real one. Reverenda Fabbrica San Pietro, and this is like a piece of glass, and they made 23,000 different colors like that. 23,000. Try to imagine that nowadays, just to give you an idea, we have 400.
Oh, wow.
They need 23,000. Something incredible. So, I don't know if you remember, but at the beginning when you enter in the church, you can not notice that it's mosaic. It seems like fresco.
Painted, yes.
Because the colors are so natural, so vibrant,
It's so true.
and to reproduce also the draw, no? It's a completely different situation between that kind of painting, that image, between that one. So it's very most difficult, and to make the very small line, the little details, the eyes, the hands. They invented a new technique called filato that consists in fuse different pieces of glass with a 800-degree flame. Okay, we put some pieces of glass and then we turn on the flame, and we create some sticks of glass, thread of glass like that. And it's now we don't have, for example, like that. And then we use just the top of it. And in that way we are able to make very, very little lines, small details, because we use just the top of this stick.
Yeah.
And also different shades of colors. And with this technique, after this huge work, they start to produce micro mosaic like that.
Oh, wow.
You see, we have the stick. Then we have different colors, different sides, and then we cut it and we put directly on the glue. And with micro mosaic, they were able to make jewelry
Wow,
or
detail.
something smaller, souvenir, also to be able to sell to tourists, so to people. Because the problem of the mosaic, it's not only the price, but also the
Heavy,
weight.
yeah.
It's very, very heavy. That work, for example, comes directly from the Vatican, and it's 300 kilo. But you can see how many different shades of color,
Yes.
and it's all made in glass.
Wow.
So you cannot sell to anybody a work of 300 kilos. So with micro mosaic, they start to produce something smaller, like that one, or like yes, a souvenir. Or I have here, for example. Yeah, that is will be the next work. We have to restore it. But you can see it's very, very, very micro.
Oh, that's so small.
Wow.
It must need like a telescope to see.
So when did they invent that new technique?
During this huge work in
Oh.
17.
Okay.
So it's not very ancient, it's quite modern. And we can recognize these techniques because you can see it's like a round shape because it's made with a flame. Because micro mosaic, we can also, they could also do in the very ancient, in the Roman period, for example, with marble.
Okay.
Because you can cut very little piece of stone also with marble and with the hammer, but it's squared.
Okay.
And you can recognize that it's very ancient because it's squared. When it's like
With
a little bit
heat,
exactly,
so it's rounded.
exactly, does it
Okay.
mean that it's made with flame, and so it's the filato techniques, and that it's the Vatican technique. We can say like that. But today you will do an example of a Roman mosaic. So, as I said, Fabrizio restored a lot of things here in Rome. All the National Museum, the archaeological sites, Caracalla, Tivoli, Pompeii, Ercolano, a lot of important places. So we have a lot of pictures taken from it, and you can choose one of these images that now I will show you. And you will create your own mosaic, Roman mosaic. Where John Lennon was shut down.
Yeah.
So and the studio made it in 85.
Oh, that's so cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, this is micro.
Exactly. Also that one was made by Fabrizio Cassio.
Look through the magnifying glass of the camera. That's how you can see it. The other one too. Whoa. That must be like at least like 10. I'm gonna do this one.